I wish I knew how to play music for you guys while I sit here and get everything set up, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. Hey, so just hang in with me for a second here. Just running a little bit late today because it's Friday. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to another live 24/7 TBC broadcast. My name is Paul, and this is episode 48. And today's date is May 25th, 2018. And the title of this episode is You, the People, Have All the Power. Okay. All right, let's get right into it. I want to go over a couple of things. First, let me give you the basics. We are a private community. We have a cryptocurrency that has been out for 2 years. It is on a blockchain. It's a real cryptocurrency. The thing that makes it different is that our coin was never put on, and it will never be put on a trading market. Okay. Markets belong to the central bankers. They use that system, they created that system. It's Wall Street's system to get the masses wealth to themselves. They're the wealthy. They can buy what they want, whether it's stocks, whether it's commodities, whether it's cryptocurrencies. And they can manipulate the price so that they go up and down every day. Now, the coin market is especially susceptible to that so far. And what they do is they call it the pump and dump. They pump the prices up by purchasing on whatever market they're doing that with. And then when they reach a certain price and all the people have come in to try to make money because, they see the prices going up, then they sell. Okay, the bankers sell. The wealthy sell. And they call it a dump. And so they dump their coins, if it's the coin market cap, trading exchanges, they dump those coins, let's just say Bitcoin, and the price goes down because people start to panic. Oh, I'm going to lose my money or my investment or whatever, and they sell their coins back so they don't take a total loss. But with the coin market, it can happen so fast. Well, you know how it works. It can happen fast in all the markets, but it can happen in a half hour. It can happen in an hour. It can happen in 3 hours. You can be asleep and wake up and all your money is gone. Okay, it's lost all its value. That's the risky part of putting Bitcoin and all the rest of the coins onto a market exchange whenever they did that. Now, the good thing about what happened is that once they did that, Bitcoin became extremely popular. Okay, before that, people weren't sure what it was. They didn't understand, they didn't take the time to learn what blockchain technology was and what this Bitcoin was. I was one of those. But once it came out, and all these traders that make a living trading stocks and bonds and commodities, or even Forex, they said, okay, wow, let's check this out. There's a new market. They call it the cryptocurrency, the coin market cap. Let's go check it out. And that really helped the price of Bitcoin go up. So in 2016, I had to take a real hard look at it, because I knew after 5 years, well, I had first learned about it in 2011. So 5 years later, I knew it wasn't going away. Okay, so that's when I got involved. That's when I purchased my first amount of Bitcoin. But I didn't have any intentions on trading it or playing in the market. I bought it just to sit in it and watch it grow. It was an option to protect my wealth. What little wealth I have, most of it's in fiat currency, right? It comes from the central bankers. Our money is not our money. Here in America, our money is lent to us by a private bank called the Federal Reserve. Okay, and they took over our system in 1913. Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act 3 days after he got into office and betrayed the entire nation against the Constitution, because the Constitution says we the people, we the government, will print our own money and no one else will have control of our money. That's basically what it says. Okay? But the central bankers have been around for centuries. It's the old monarch system. Kings and queens had all the wealth. Everyone else was peasants. Okay. History, common sense, logic. You know that. Okay, so they followed us over when America was built in the beginning, and they did everything they can to take over our system, and they did. And then Andrew Jackson came along and got rid of it. He was the first president to get rid of it, but then it came back, and I forget which president got rid of it again, and then they tried to bring it back again in after Taft became president, after Teddy Roosevelt was done, Taft became president, and Taft wasn't going to have anything to do with it. He wasn't bought and paid for by the central bankers, so he said no way. Okay, and that was his first term between 1908 and 1912. Okay, and then he went to become reelected, and he was a shoo-in. Wilson was a nobody. Okay, so the central bankers didn't want to wait another 4 years to get into the system, take over. So they went to Teddy Roosevelt. They went back to Teddy and said, Teddy, please run against these two, and you'll pull enough votes away from Taft that our man Wilson can win. Okay, that's history. All you got to do is go back and find out. You don't have to believe me. Okay, so Teddy Roosevelt's also a traitor. But then again, all the presidents have been traitors to the American people, except for John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan. And now our president, Donald Trump. And the unique position, by the way, of course, Wilson did win. The unique position that we're in now is because of blockchain technology and a lot of other technologies, obviously. The internet, just everything you can name tech-wise, we're in a very unique position right now. We've never been at this exact position ever in the history of mankind. Just like when the internet came out, we never was at that level until we were at that level and the internet came out. The internet matured in 10 years, from 1990 to 2000. It was full-blown by 2000. And from that point on, it just went crazy. Okay? The cryptocurrency market, or the cryptocurrency field, is in that same position today. Okay? Bitcoin was the first coin to come out. A guy who calls himself Satoshi Nakamoto created the blockchain platform and made a cryptocurrency on it. Crypto just stands for encryption. Okay? So he made a currency on it called the Bitcoin. And it took a long time for people to accept it and to realize that, wait a second, this is real. This can be real. Okay? When they, of course, the guys who were more techie understood it faster than the rest of us, right? So anyway, Satoshi stepped away 2 years later in 2011 just to make sure that the miners, the independent miners all over the world, and the owners could have confidence that he wasn't going to change the plan and discount or lower the price of the coin through any kind of manipulation. Okay, so he was very smart in doing that. And nobody expects him to come back. There's no reason for it. But that was the first coin. Okay, and basically it's based on proof of work and supply and demand. They're only going to make 21 million coins, Bitcoins. Only 21 million. Okay, we have 7.5 billion people on Earth, but they're only going to make 21 million. That's fine. It's an option, again, to protect your wealth if your wealth is in fiat currency. Okay, like gold is an option, and gold is even a solution. Silver, platinum, precious stones, anything that's a resource that's limited, obviously, is an option and could be a solution to world poverty. So our coin, when we brought it out, we didn't want to put it on the market because then it would not be an abundance-based coin. Abundant meaning that the coin would never go down in price. Once we brought it out, all it would do was increase according to an algorithm that the creators created and based the value of the billion coin on that algorithm. Okay, the algorithm works like this. Every person that registers as a member of the TBC community, and it's free to register, okay, that used to be enough to raise the price of one of our coins by €1. Okay, 2 years ago when we came out, we were basing it on the value of the euro. So if one person joined, it would raise the price up €1 or $1.40, I think, around there, US dollars. So every person, right? So we started out with 171 vetted individuals who were like-minded and were gung-ho for our mission. They were the right type of people. And they were allowed a certain amount of coins. Okay, everything is controlled. Not everything, just the coin part, the distribution of the coin, the selling of the coins is what we have control over. The blockchain, obviously, is completely decentralized. So, hang on just a second. Okay. All right, so where was I? Let's see. Oh, okay, the algorithm. So if we grew by 10,000 members, the first month, then the price of the coin went from 171 euros to 10,171 euros. Okay. So that first year, which was March, we started March 21st, 2016, all the way until a year later in 2017, it grew to about 100,000 people, 100,000 members. Okay. So the price of the coin was worth 100,000 euros at that time. Okay. We continued to base it on the euro this last year. Okay. Because people were familiar with the euro. They're familiar with the US dollar. Okay. They're not so familiar with the price of gold. So we just waited until we had enough people where it didn't make any more sense to value our coin on fiat currency, which just happened last month. Okay, we switched over to gold. So the growth between last year, and I got involved about 2 days after the first year anniversary, was when I found out. By continuing to do research on Bitcoin, I came across a video on YouTube that said the billion coin, or it said TBC, and I had not seen that on the coin market cap. And so I was very curious about what this was. Okay, and the rest is history. Okay, so we had grown, obviously, a lot, from 171 to 100,000 the first year. That's like, what, 5,000 or 6,000 times? Okay, so the second year, we grew very, very well, 30 times. 30 times, okay? So we went from 100,000 to 3 million. And this was a very slow year for us because we got backlogged just like Bitcoin did because we were doing too many transactions that the old 1.0 blockchain platform, the original blockchain platform that everybody was using, can get bogged down when there's too many transactions happening at one time. And with the trading exchanges, every trade is a transaction. We were not on a trading exchange. We still got bogged down because our membership was growing and we were using it as money all over the world. Okay, especially in countries that are considered second or third world countries where the people are not so brainwashed. Okay, and they live and see poverty, extreme poverty every single day. Their minds are much more open and quick to come along and realize, whoa, you know, it was amazing to them when they got cell phones. And now every single one of those third world people have cell phones. Okay, and they may not have anything else, but they have a cell phone. Okay, so they understand easier what lack is, what artificial scarcity is when you tell them about what really is going on. And they're not dumb people just because they're living in third world countries. Okay, very, very smart individuals all over the world. Okay, and so we were using it amongst ourselves that first year. And the second year, we got to the point where the system got bogged down. So obviously our creators, and it's a team effort, it's not just one, okay, knew that this was coming, and he started to work on, or they started to work, I'll just call him he started to work on a new blockchain, very, very advanced, higher technology to do much faster work, much faster transactions. Okay, he calls it 2.0. As far as we know, we're the only first ones to have it. Okay, and he built that, he tested it, and it runs really, really well. And we just started to migrate our 3 million people over from the, old blockchain to the new blockchain 2 days ago. Okay, so that's another reason why we've been doing these 24/7 days a week, half-hour broadcasts. Most of us go over a half hour. But we do these broadcasts to get the word out that we're jumping onto a new blockchain platform that's going to change the game completely. And here's what I mean. Well, by the way, let me just explain real quick how it's working now that we switched over to the value of gold. We base our coin value on gold now. Okay, the smallest measurement of gold is a grain. It takes 480 grains to make a troy ounce of gold. So at the current price of gold, 1 grain is currently worth $2.80, approximately. Okay, $2.80, not $1.40, but basically double. So by switching over to gold, we doubled the price of our coin. Now the price of our coin, instead of being when we have 3.2 members, so it would be 3.2 million. We have 3.2 million members, so it would be 3.2 million euros. We've got 6.4. The coin is worth 6.4 euros if we were basing it on euros, but we're basing it on gold. So let's use US dollar. Since I'm in America, it would be worth over $8 million per coin right now. Okay, so most people can't afford a whole coin, but that's okay, because that's not what we're about. We're about the value of our coin, without a doubt. We'll never discount it, because that would destroy the coin. We won't sell it at a discount. If you want to buy a full coin, you'll have to. No, you won't. But it would seem like you'd have to spend $8 million right now, right? Because the coin is going to go up to, it would have gone up to 1 billion euros, because it's based on the membership. And when we get to our first billion, that's when the algorithm cuts it off. The value stops right there. It never goes down. It just stops. So when it was based on the euro, it would have stopped at 1 billion euros. So we're going to have 1 billion coins made, nothing more, not 1 billion one coin, 1 billion coins. So that's why they called it, and it's still called the billion coin. 1 million people are going to determine the price, our first billion. 1 billion coins is the only amount of coins we're ever going to make. It's enough to accomplish our mission. Our mission is to eliminate global poverty, financial poverty. And we will do it, okay? Because when we get 1 billion members, and we have our goal, our first mission, is to bring in 1 million billionaires, to create 1 million billionaires. How many billionaires are there today under the fiat currency system? How many? 500 million? 100 million? A million? 100,000? No, 2,200 approximately. 2,200 billionaires out of 7.5 billion people. That's why we live in the world we live in. It's all we've ever known, and it's all my parents ever knew. Okay, so we are used to that scarcity, that artificial scarcity, that mindset of there's not enough, lack, lack, lack. And it's a lie. It's not true at all. This world is full of abundance, so much abundance, your head would spin if you really knew how much abundant this world is. But we've been lied to so bad. And the elite have controlled technology. They have controlled everything. Everything. Because if they don't, then they're not in control. Okay. Common sense and logic. Okay. So here we are with a mission to create 1 million, not 2,200, but 1 million billionaires, which means we got to get at least one full coin, or close to one full coin. Now, half a coin, okay, which would be Kringles. That's what we call divisions of our coin, Kringles. In Bitcoin, they're called Satoshi. Okay, so we're actually just calling it the Kringle coin. So we've got to get, we would like to get 1 million people that have at least one full coin. That will end up in value of, well, if the price of gold stays the same, and it should take us another 2 years, maybe 3 at the most, to get 1 billion. Okay, especially now that we're going over to this 2.0 blockchain platform, which is a game changer when it comes to everything. Because we can go to places of business just like Bitcoin does now, with a very small economy. Their membership, if you want to call it a membership, it's not really a membership. They don't really have a community, but if you want to say how many owners are using Bitcoin, well, there's around 12 million. All we can do is approximate it, okay? Because it's completely decentralized. Even the wallets are decentralized. The only thing that's not decentralized are the trading exchanges, so they can be regulated and kicked out of a country. But people can still buy and own and use Bitcoin without having it on a trading exchange. But anyway, with 12 million, they do have a small economy. We have 3.2 million, and so we're getting up there, but we've only been around 2 years. But now that we're migrating into this super fast, platform, we're going to explode in our growth. Even if we only grew by another 30 times, we'd be at 90 million in March, the end of March of 2019, next year. 90 million, that's 6 or 7 times the amount of the current Bitcoin users or the current Bitcoin community. And they have a small economy. There's stores and places that are accepting it because it's not a lot of people that are insisting on using Bitcoin, or not insisting, but asking people to accept Bitcoin. And the merchants who can, the ones that have enough cash flow and they don't need to turn around and use the Bitcoin, are just sticking it in their wallets and watching it go up. Yes, they can watch it do that, but they don't care because they understand that the system and the way it's created, that it's always going to go up in value. 12 months later, it's always going to go up in value. 12 months after that, it's going to be even more expensive. 12 months after that, it's going to be more expensive because of supply and demand. Okay. So, but there is, the risk if people were to trade it on a trading exchange. But the point is, at 90 million, we'd have 7 times the amount of an economy that Bitcoin currently has. So we would be using it everywhere. We'll be using it everywhere next year. Okay. And when we get to 1 billion people, which is about 10 times more than that, right? The following year, or even if it takes 2 years, you know how fast that will go by? Then the entire world will be using Kringle. And when we are done with our first million billionaires, we are going to create 1 billion millionaires. These will all be multimillionaires and multi-billionaires. Okay? So that leaves enough Kringle left over to take care of the rest of the world, the 6.5 billion people, in pure abundance like they've never, ever known. Okay? Serious. And it doesn't matter what's going on with the economy at that time. Do you understand? Because the more we grow, the more we will be using Kringles as money. Not fiat currency based on nothing, backed by nothing. A system that has to crash, and it's set to crash real soon again. You've seen it crash before. I know people who have lost their entire retirement. Baby boomers that have lost their entire retirement. Friends of mine, back in 2008, a lot of them lost in 2000. Okay. The system crashes from time to time because it has to. It's the way it's set up. It's a horrible, wicked, debt-based system. Okay. But you can see, just by opening your eyes, what's going on in the world today. You can see what's going on. Okay. Now, the corporate media isn't going to show you all the, the horror and the poverty that's out there. Okay. So you'll have to hunt for that. But you're not going to want to see it because it will break your heart. And it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat, it will break your heart. So everyone should be for eliminating global poverty. Okay, everyone should be. And everyone should be a part of this community, the TBC community, the billion coin community. It is free to register, okay? But there is a $10 charge, but you will not be charged until you want to pay that $10. We vet our membership. We don't just allow anybody to come in. We don't allow the rich to come in and buy what they want. We don't allow that. We control the distribution of our wealth. We members are in the distribution business. That's what we do. We distribute the coin. Admin doesn't distribute the coin. Admin doesn't sell the coin. Okay, he sold it to the 171 people, and he's hung on the rest of the coin. Okay, and anybody who has wanted to buy the coin has bought it from the 171, and then every member who, after that, who's owned it. They have enough that they go, I can sell you some. It's not going to hurt me. It's not going to hurt my wealth that I have built up in Kringles or the billion coin. Then that's how you get it. Okay, so we have this amazing best of both worlds where we can control the distribution of our wealth. And we want like-minded people. We want people who are tired of realizing that there's poor out there, that there's kids who want the same thing as our kids want, but they can't get it. They can't have it. There's a video link, a YouTube video link below in this description of this video. It's a little episode that was cut out of one of the Housewives of New York episodes on Bravo. It's just like a 2-minute little, cutout of when Bethany Frankel and one of the other wives went down to Puerto Rico to give money and toys away. I think it was over $100,000. They were just handing people envelopes with debit cards that had $300 on them. Some people they gave $2. Here's $600. These people down there don't have electricity to this day since that hurricane. Take a look at that. 2 minutes. If it doesn't bring tears to your eyes, then you're dead, okay? That's what I said yesterday. But no, it will get to you. Because the corporate media is not showing that. They don't want you to know. Mainstream media owned by the central bankers who caused that. Oh, yeah. They didn't cause the hurricane. Okay? There's nothing we can do about, natural disasters. But they created the system where the electric grid is a joke. It's a joke. Electricity is wireless and it should be free. Tesla was going to give that to the world back in the 30s. Nikola Tesla. The central bankers shut him down, took all his grant money away, and the man died in poverty. Took his technology and sat on it until technology caught up with them. And now they have a way to give wireless electricity to you, but they'll put a box or something, just like the internet does, the modems, the Wi-Fi, they'll all be free. But if they've got a way to control it and charge you every month, that's what they do. That's why they wouldn't let Tesla do it back then. They had built the whole electric grid and all over the world. Wires, poles, to everybody's home and businesses, and charging them for electricity when the entire universe is made out of electricity. You and me, we're made out of electricity. Atoms, right? Come on, people. We're not used to abundance. Okay? We've been raised under a different system, a system of scarcity, a system of lack. The central banking system is a debt-based system. They took over our money and then they lent it to our government with interest charged. So how's the government going to pay the interest plus the original loan, right? How are they going to do it? Well, they had to create another unconstitutional entity called the Internal Revenue Service, and they started charging us, the people, income tax. In fact, I believe they were already doing it before 1913 with the income tax. Okay. But anyway, things are changing today. Okay. Trump and Patriots are in a position with the blockchain technology that we no longer have to be on their system. Okay. And they don't even have to come out with a cryptocurrency. They'll come out with another cash that will be in their hands, in our hands, in the people's hands. Back on the Constitution, okay? And they'll back it by gold. They have to. Because the world is already fed up and revolting against the Federal Reserve note. They are revolting against the US dollar. It's worthless. So what they're doing is they're backing up their money with gold. Okay? China's backing up their yuan with gold. They're not using the petrodollar to buy their oil. They're the largest consumer of oil in the world. They are making deals with countries that they get their oil from to use the yuan because it's backed by gold, and the countries are doing it. Okay, and their biggest purchaser of oil of China, I believe, is Saudi Arabia. So I don't know if they made a deal yet with them or not, but once Saudi Arabia comes on board with that Chinese yuan, that's it for the US dollar in China. They won't need it anymore. Russia's already not using it. The ruble, no, I threw a blank. The ruble, is that what it's called? Is backed by gold in Russia. Okay, so they have kicked out the central banking system and the deep state. So that's why they hate Russia. That's why they make it out by using the mainstream media that Russia and Putin are bad. They're our enemies. And China is our enemy. Okay. And North Korea was our enemy. Okay. And they're still saying it. Okay. You see what's going on. But don't believe anything the mainstream tells you. Mainstream media. Okay. Trump just comes out and says things and does things to let them think that, oh, that's what Trump's doing. Meanwhile, him and the Patriots are doing things behind the scenes all the time. And that's how peace was created in North Korea. That's why we are not in a war with North Korea, and we never will be. We are bringing peace. In fact, peace is already there. The people just don't know it yet. The deep state is struggling to hang on to their power, but they don't have it anymore. Not in Korea, not in North Korea. Okay. So we look around and we see what's going on in Syria. We see what's going on in Iran. We see what Netanyahu is doing. We've got to take his power away, and his power is money. Okay? Central banking. He's a central banker. He's a deep state puppet. And he is a mass murderer of Palestinians. Venezuela is now getting off the central banking system. Central banking system said, I can't believe what you guys are doing. If you try to do this and don't do it our way, we're going to put sanctions on you. You're not going to be able to sell your oil. Your people are going to starve. Do you think they care? The central banking system cares about humans? They don't. 2,000 people care about 7.5 billion? Come on. In fact, it's getting a little out of control. They're losing control. They want to depopulate the earth, right? Common sense and logic. But there they are with Venezuela, starving the people. They were, with their sanctions. It's not us. It's not the American people. Okay, but we are taking the brunt of the hate of the world. You know, America is the devil. And they're right. But it's not the American people. It is the central bankers that are mostly set right here in America. The United Nations is here. The Federal Reserve Banks are here. But they're all over the world. Duh. And Venezuela is finding a way to work around those sanctions. They came out with their own cryptocurrency, okay, and they based it on their oil because they have plenty of oil, okay, and they know it's valuable. It's just that they can't sell it. So when they realize, wait a second, we can't sell our oil, so the people are not going to have faith in this cryptocurrency if we base it on oil. So we do have our gold back in our country. Let's just back it by gold. So they did. Watch what's happening in Venezuela, okay? Watch what's going to happen in Argentina because that country's a mess right now. But guess what? Venezuela is already making deals with the Palestinians, monetary deals using cryptocurrency backed by gold. This is real good. Trump's got big plans. Russia's got big plans. These are our friends. The corporate media hates them because the corporate media is owned by the elite, the deep state, the central bankers. Okay, and Trump plays along, keeps his enemies very close to him, and then he lets them go when he's done with them. And he's doing things behind the scenes like you can't imagine. It's never, ever happened in America before. What he and us, the Patriots, are doing. Now think about what I am talking about with the billion coin. The billion coin represents a solution, not just an option, a solution to all of the problems, just in and of itself. If the people accepted the coin and used it, we wouldn't need the fiat. We wouldn't need the central banking system. We wouldn't need banks. We wouldn't need bank accounts. We wouldn't need to be controlled by them. We wouldn't need credit cards. Okay, so that's where we're heading. And Trump's sitting there because he knows the system has to crash. He knows it's going to crash on its own. But why not take advantage of that situation and keep the narrative and say, look what the central banking system has done. Do you realize that because the Federal Reserve is a private bank, it could be audited? It's never been audited in its entire history in America. 105 years, it's never been audited. Why? Because they've owned the politicians. Okay? Except for Kennedy and Reagan. Reagan basically had his hands tied. He did the best he could. He did a lot of good things. But Bush was their man. Okay? So it just wasn't the right time. I mean, not even the internet was available during the Reagan era in the 80s, right? But under Kennedy and under John F. Kennedy, it was different. It really was. There was a chance there, and he was getting it done. Okay, and you have to remember, if you don't know, if you haven't been around long enough to know, that Kennedy went up against Richard Nixon for president, and John F. Kennedy was a nobody at the time, so Nixon was a shoo-in. Richard Nixon was a shoo-in. Okay, like Hillary was a shoo-in. Who was going to even think that Trump was going to win, right? Well, that's what happened. John F. Kennedy won. The Patriots got behind John F. Kennedy, and he won. Barely. It shocked, mentally freaked out Richard Nixon. Okay, so they got rid of Kennedy. Lyndon Johnson, their man, took over. And in 1968, Richard Nixon said, okay, now's my time. Now's my chance. There's nobody that can even come close to me. I will be the next president. Okay, and then at the last minute, John F. Kennedy's brother, Robert Kennedy, decided he'd run and try to win the Democratic Party, okay, to become the nominee. They didn't even let him get that far. There was no way. There was no way Nixon was going to let him get that far. Or the people that, owned him. So Nixon became our president, and in 1971, he took the gold standard away from the money. So now our money had nothing. It's been fiat, complete 100% fiat currency since 1971. Okay, they called it the petrodollar from that point on. And 2 years later, in 73, we had that gas shortage, right? That was a bunch of lies. They just wanted to raise the price of oil up, make some money. Tell us there wasn't enough oil. Okay. We the people have the power. For the first time ever. I mean, there was obviously a time when America got started that our ancestors, those of us who have ancestors that were a part of that, had the power amongst themselves. They created a country to achieve freedom from Britain, from the monarchy. We went to war. We won. We had our Constitution. But it didn't stop. It didn't stop the central bankers. They kept at us. And they were so used to knowing how to do what they do, because they had been doing it for centuries, with all the countries of all the world, all the empires, all the kings and queens, that they basically didn't have much chance of them not succeeding. So the point is, we've been on that system for 105 years. It fell apart after World War II. It fell apart after 1971, 40 years later, basically. About every 40 years, it falls apart. And it's been 40 years probably since 1971. It's about to fall apart again. And in the meantime, we see crashes all the time, right? And people's wealth disappears. Who gets that wealth? Well, it's not even wealth, but if they have anything, the central bankers get it. They'll take your house, they'll take whatever. It's all their system. The banks are all their system. Okay, so now we can get rid of it, and we are going to get rid of it, and it's never coming back. Okay, blockchain technology is here, and it's never going away. The internet came, and it has never gone away. Okay, the light bulb came and it has never gone away. Electricity was invented and then it never went away. You see what I'm saying? That's the way it is right now. And Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, said it will be mature. The cryptocurrency industry, whatever you want to call it, community, will be mature in 10 years. Okay? So if you said this recently, then obviously it would be 2028, right? It doesn't mean it gets started. That means it will be mature, like the internet was mature by 2000. All the masses are coming in now into cryptocurrency. Okay. They're not coming in as fast as social media because everybody knows what social media is. And everybody's super attracted to staying in contact with other people. So as soon as a chatting service comes out or a social media comes out of something, they just go after it. But cryptocurrency, what is that? Do I need to really be involved in that? Is it real? I don't know. It sounds kind of crazy to me. Okay, so that's why you don't see the massive growth. That's why after, what has it been now? Almost 10 years for the Bitcoin, and they've only got 12 million people. Geez, after 2 years, without being on a trading exchange, we're already over 3 million. And now that we're going on to a new platform, 2.0, where we could go into any merchant of any kind, you name it. We could go in there and tell them about our coin. And when they realize that not only does our coin never go down in value, meaning if I take your coin, Mr. Fisher, if I take this coin, this Kringle coin, and it goes into my wallet, it's going to be more valuable tomorrow? Yes. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, yes. Until it reaches its maximum value at 2.8, based on the value of gold today, $1 billion per coin with our first billion people. Okay, and how many members of your community are using this coin? Let's say it's 6 months from now, okay? We've gone from 3 million to 36 million. We've got 36 million people in the world that have the coin. You've got 3 times the amount of Bitcoin users out there that will do business with me. And by the way, I do have an online site. Yes, that's exactly what we're telling you. Okay, because we're just getting the word out. You'll be one of the first few merchants that are accepting this coin, so all of our members are going to want to buy from you. Can you handle it? Yeah, I can handle it. Bring it on. That's what's going to happen. The more people we have in our community, the more power we have. And we can change this world with or without anybody else. Just ourselves. Okay? But we just happen to be in a position where Trump and the Patriots and technology is changing the world. They're going to come out with a currency backed by gold, even if the central bankers were to win this war. Okay, not a war of guns and bombs. They would have to back up their currency with gold because the entire world is rebelling against the U.S. dollar. They don't have any faith in it. You see the countries in Europe, the European Union, it's falling apart. Those countries are moving over to the east. They're moving east to the Chinese yuan. They're making deals with Russia right and left. Germany, France, all of them. What does that tell you? It tells you the Chinese yuan is going to be the reserve currency of the world. Okay, until the United States backs up their money by gold, which it will happen no matter what. The problem is if it happens with the central banker system still in control, they'll eventually take that gold away again. That's what they do. Just like they did in 1971. They told us, oh, we're going to take the gold away, but, in 4 or 5 years, we're going to bring it back. We just need to, these speculators out there with gold is just messing us up, and we need to fix this. They never brought it back. They never intended to. Okay, so we are at an unbelievable time of this world. An incredibly exciting time to be alive. Because God willing, if we stay alive for a few more years, we're going to see things that we never thought we were ever going to see in our lifetime. Things that people out there never saw in our past. Okay, just unbelievable. Now, it's not going to be paradise. Okay, it's like I always say, when everybody's got money, there will be no crime due to lack. But there'll be crime because money doesn't stop hate. Okay, and we're created subject to vanity. That's pride and hate. And we didn't have a choice about it. Okay, so we were born sending machines. That's all we know how to do. You can't get rid of hate. We have to have hate in order to understand its opposite, love. Okay, that's how God works. He's a very, very smart guy, huh? Oh my word. Can't believe I just said that. Okay, so the point being that we the people have the power. Okay, and it doesn't matter what happens if you will join our community. Those of you who are not a part of our community yet, if you join our community, you will come across after your back office is set up, okay, and after your free gift of Kringles deposited into your wallet, information links in those 2 emails you're going to get when you sign up, okay, and you're going to see a questionnaire, 10 questions, paragraph on each one. It's our mission statement, divided up by 10. Okay, and there's 2 answers you can pick. One's true and one's false. And if you pick the false one, it will tell you picked the wrong one. Go back and read the paragraph above and answer again. So you can't fail the test. It's just what it does is it vets you out or it vets you in. Okay, it will show what kind of a mind you have, whether you're greedy and selfish or whether you're not. Do you want to join a community like that? With people that are unselfish and don't have any greed? I do. I wanted to. I did as soon as I found out. And every single patriot in the world and every single individual, and like I said, I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat, right or left, wants to be in our system. If they have like-mindedness, at least when it comes to eliminating poverty. We can all agree on that. I don't see anybody not agreeing on that. Who, except the most evilest among us, would not want to rectify that situation and bring abundance to the poor people of the world and not have a single poor individual in the world, not have a single person living in a tent on the sidewalks of our cities, not have a single mentally ill person walking around with no help whatsoever? Who in their right mind would want that? Nobody. But there's a lot of people that are not in their right mind. They're evil. Okay? Logic and common sense. Okay, so I think I've pretty much said everything I want to say today about how powerful that people are when they come together, when they get organized, when they're strong, when they have something to stand up and stand for. There's nothing that people can't do when they get together like that. There's nothing. Together, we're invincible. Together, we're invincible. Okay, so please, now that migration is here, now that every new person that joins our community is going to be put onto that new blockchain in a brand new wallet, you need to belong to us. Now just go through. I think the application asks for your name and an email address. That's it. A real email address, because you will have to open those emails up and click on those confirmation links. Otherwise, you won't get your free $2,000 worth of Kringles, and you won't get your back office to where you'll be able to read those questions and decide for yourself whether you want to spend $10. Okay? We're not going to force you. It's not our deal. We're not in this to make $10 fiat. In fact, the admin won't even accept fiat. He'll accept Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Logic and common sense. Now, if you want to use leverage like you've never seen it, and already $10 for 2,000 is something else. Okay, I mean, you'll get to 2,000 without spending the 10, but you won't be able to do anything with it until you spend the $10. So it's, you know, it's not even Kringle. You'll have it in cookies until you spend that $10. Then it will change into Kringles, or however the system works. It's new to us. Okay, so we didn't really have a good enough vetting system in our first 2 years. We were doing it mostly manually on their side, meaning the creator's side. Okay, but because we're growing so much, and now we had an opportunity, hey, since we're migrating over, let's just change the system and add this to it, and it will create a massively successful vetting system where people will be able to vet themselves right out or vet themselves right in. They won't have to spend a dime unless they want to, okay? They really want to. And then we'll give them a coin free if they just give the gift out to others. Or if they want to, they can spend $100 and buy $100 worth of Kringles at the current Kringle price of that day. And we'll give them 1 million cookie reward points in their back office. And during a redemption month, they can push a button and have it switched over to 1 million Kringles in their wallet. And on our system, 1 million Kringles is one full coin. We've just dropped the last 2 zeros. Okay, so 1 million Kringles is one full coin. One full coin is worth over $8 million today, and it will be worth at least 2.8 million. I don't see gold going down. I don't see it going down. I see it going up first before it comes down again. But I don't ever see it going down below what it is today. But it might a little bit. Point is, you'll be a multi-billionaire with one coin for $100. If you want 2 coins, we'll give it to you for $200. Okay, if you got $1,000 laying around and you want a solution plus an option to protecting your wealth that you have today, then yes, spend $1,000. We'll give you 10 coins. You'll have $20.8 billion. Okay. So the power is in our hands. It's in your hands. Is register for free. The information's below. And you'll go to a site and you'll see Chris Kringle. That's what he calls himself. That's why we call our coins Kringles. Because he's Santa Claus. He's giving the gift of coins out. We need to get the coins in your hands. That's how our system is based, right? That's our algorithm. It goes up in value for every member that has the coin. So, and now with the new blockchain platform, it is every member that has the coin, not just a member who registers for free and decides by going through those questions that they don't want to belong to our community. Then they don't spend their $10, right? They go away. Okay, that doesn't do anything to raise the price. Used to, but it doesn't anymore. We found out that too many people weren't like-minded, or, you know, by just giving a gift away to them free without charging anything. They just didn't see any value at all in it, and they didn't stay involved. Okay, and yet we still grew by 30 times last year. So there's another coin coming out that will be the second-based, abundance-based coin a year from now. It's from the Telegram messaging service. Okay, Telegram messaging service has been out since 2013. Last month, they had over 200 million people chatting away for free on their app. Now they're coming out with their own cryptocurrency. The owner of that company is as smart as it gets, just like the creators of our cryptocurrency, smart as they get. Okay, so he's basing his algorithm on everybody that purchases raises the price of that coin by a fraction. The next person has to buy it a little bit more expensive, and the next person, and the next person. That's an abundance-based coin. It always goes up in value. It never goes down. Now, I don't know all the other details. I don't even know if they're available, but I haven't done any research because, it's just another coin to help us out, but I've got the billion coin. It's real. It's cryptocurrency. It's not going away. And we're succeeding beyond our wildest dreams already. Okay, so I'm just letting you know about that because people are starting to realize that the coins that are on the market are an option, but they're not a solution to the problems of the world. They're not a solution to bringing back freedom into the hands of the people so that we own the politicians, not the central bankers. Okay? Wouldn't that be something? Seriously, wouldn't that be something? Okay, so thanks guys for watching me for an hour. Let me go over and look at my live chat that I always forget to do and see who is so nice to be with me on a Friday evening. Well, it's evening for me. Crypto TBC, how you doing? Thanks. Thanuram Swargari. Nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. Okay. Miss Medlock, how you doing? Steven, thanks. For everything. Thanks for everything, Steven. Your broadcast yesterday was incredible. Jules, your broadcasts are unreal. Thank you so much for talking about the blog. It's so important. That membership agreement was so important. And it was such a good idea for you to go through that. Thank you so much.
It was actually what? Potatoes and all of our chuck.
Okay. Thanks, guys, for being here. I'm scheduled already for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. All right. Go enjoy whatever else you want to do with the rest of your time today, tonight, whatever, wherever you are in the world. And I'll be here, same place, same time, same channel tomorrow. And we'll talk about something. In fact, gosh, Jules did such an amazing job with that membership agreement. I might just go over it myself again because it's just so powerful. It lets you know and makes you realize the real power that we have, that you have, if you just get involved. I mean, we can't all be doing something literally every day to create freedom in the world. We can't. We're too busy doing our lives. We see poor people on the street and all we can do is hand them some money or go buy them something with our plastic and give it back to them and give it to them. But that's not a solution to their problems, is it? Especially if they're mentally ill and they need to be taken care of. It's not a solution. It's just a temporary fix. But now you have a solution in your hands. Absolute solution. Eliminate all of that. To put all those people back into homes. Whatever home they want. I kid you not. To put those mentally ill and get them help. In places where they'll get the best help that this world can offer. I mean, think about what money, unlimited amounts of money can do for the world when it's in the people's hands, when it's in a million billionaires' hands instead of 2,200, and a billion millionaires' hands. How many millionaires are there in the world? I think there's, I don't even remember. What was it, 30,000? 300? I don't know. But again, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Even if it was 300,000 millionaires in the world today, among 7.5 billion people, that's crazy. Okay, I'll stop talking. Thanks, guys. Be safe. Love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.